In the late 1970s and early 80s, the World Heavyweight Boxing division was stacked with giants. Larry Holmes, John Tate, Michael Dokes. And then from South Africa came a man they called the Bionic Hand, Gerrie Coetzee. Gerrie Coetzee was born in 1955 in Boksburg, Transvaal. As a child, he suffered from asthma. His family doctor advised he take up sports to help with his condition. Like many kids, he fell in love with boxing at a young age. But his journey was anything but ordinary. South Africa at the time was a country divided by apartheid, and Gerrie's rise in the sport meant carrying not only his own ambitions, but also the complicated weight of representing his nation on the world stage. Turning professional in 1974, Coetzee quickly showed he had something special. A tall heavyweight with power in both hands, he started climbing the ranks, defeating seasoned fighters and becoming a force in South African boxing. He had some 200 fights as an amateur. Many of these took place while he was working as a dental technician. He joked that by day he made people's teeth healthy, and by night he knocked them out. But his career came with a recurring problem. His right hand, the hand that carried much of his punching power, broke repeatedly. After several surgeries, doctors inserted a metal plate to stabilize it. That hand would earn him the nickname that followed him throughout his career, the Bionic Hand. By the late 1970s, Gerrie Coetzee had earned his first chance at the heavyweight crown. In October 1979, he faced Big John Tate for the vacant WBA heavyweight title in Pretoria. The fight was historic, the first world heavyweight title fight staged in South Africa. An entire nation's hopes rested on Coetzee's shoulders. Prime Minister P.W. Botha and his entire cabinet were in the 81,000-strong crowd. This was at the height of the apartheid era, and the government granted a permit for black patrons to attend. This marked the first time blacks and whites attended a sports event together in apartheid South Africa, and Coetzee himself was pleased about this. The fight began with promise. Coetzee pressed forward, trying to land the big shots that had carried him through so many earlier victories, but Tate had other plans. Using his jab, his footwork and superior conditioning, Tate kept Coetzee off balance and out of rhythm. Round after round, Tate's consistency frustrated the South African challenger. After 15 hard-fought rounds, the decision was clear. John Tate had won. Gerrie Coetzee's dream of becoming world heavyweight champion would have to wait. For some fighters, one setback at that level is enough to derail a career, but Coetzee wasn't done. Just a year later, in October 1980, he got another shot at the WBA World Heavyweight title, this time against Mike Weaver. Weaver was known for his toughness, endurance, while keeping pressure on his opponent. The fight took place in Sun City, again giving Coetzee home advantage. From the opening bell, Coetzee came out strongly. He landed heavy shots that rocked Weaver, and through the early rounds it looked as though the South African might finally capture the elusive belt. But Weaver had built his reputation on resilience, and as the fight wore on, Coetzee began to tire, while Weaver found his rhythm. The tide started to turn. In the 13th round, Weaver unleashed a devastating flurry, dropping Coetzee and stopping the fight. Another crushing defeat. 2 world title attempts, 2 heartbreaks. Many wondered if Coetzee would ever recover. Twice he had been on the brink of glory, and twice the crown had slipped away. For the next 3 years he rebuilt, refining his style, fixing the flaws that had cost him in the past. He knew that if another chance came, it might be the last. That chance arrived on the 23rd of September 1983. His opponent was Michael Dokes, the flamboyant, undefeated WBA World Heavyweight Champion. Dokes was fast, slick and confident. He was fighting in his home country, at the Richfield Coliseum near Cleveland, Ohio. This time the whole world was watching. The fight was broadcast live on HBO. Barry Tompkins called the action, with Sugar Ray Leonard offering expert analysis alongside Larry Merchant. Millions of viewers in America and beyond tuned in to see if Dokes would extend his unbeaten record, or if the South African challenger could finally make good on years of promise. On paper, Coetzee was once again the underdog. Few outside South Africa gave him much of a chance. From the opening bell, Dokes was uncharacteristically tentative, and Coetzee began to establish control. Unlike in his previous title fights, Coetzee did not chase recklessly. He bided his time, waiting for the opening he knew would come. The lack of self-confidence that had sometimes held him back, especially against American fighters, was nowhere to be seen. This was Coetzee at his very best, calm, powerful and assured. Early on he suffered a cut to his eye, which hindered his vision for a couple of rounds. But he pressed forward, briefly decking Dokes in round 5. And then, in round 10, it came. Dokes' legs started to wobble. Coetzee unleashed that famous bionic hand, a thunderous right and then another, sending Dokes crashing to the canvas. The referee counted him out. Gerrie Coetzee had finally done it. He was the heavyweight champion of the world, the first South African in history to claim a world heavyweight title. Commentator Tompkins exclaimed, "They gotta be going crazy in South Africa." And he was right. Back home it was 4 o'clock in the morning, but nobody was asleep. Families gathered in living rooms. Friends huddled around radios. People spilled into the streets. Car horns blared. Voices cheered into the night. For a brief moment, South Africa was united in joy. I wasn't there. I was in England, but even here, the news made waves. It was one of those victories you felt across borders. A story of a fighter who had failed, picked himself up, and finally conquered the mountain. What are your memories? Do share them in the comments. Gerrie Coetzee, the fighter with the bionic hand, who proved that sometimes the greatest victories come after the deepest disappointments. Let's end by reliving that momentous final round with Michael Dokes and the unforgettable post-fight scenes. Thank you for watching this episode of Lost History Files.
Right hand, and he know that right hand will follow, just like he did there. Dokes needs to move, keep this man in the center of the ring, or we're going to see this the rest of the fight, or if it should go that long.
Blood now slightly from the corner of Coetzee's eye once more, but it is alongside the eye, and it has not really bled in his eye.
And now we're seeing body shots again. Dokes seems to be a little hurt. He's wobbly now. He's wobbling. His legs are buckled.
And there's a solid right hand by Coetzee, and Dokes is in serious trouble.
Now, Dokes is seriously injured.
Dokes is out on his feet here if Coetzee could finish him off.
Coetzee just can't get wild. Just take his time and he can get his man out of there.
Dokes holding on.
He's doing the right thing, Barry. Hold on, clear his head.
15 seconds remaining in this round, and Coetzee is on him. Backhands a right hand. Dokes is out on his feet, but may get through the round.
I doubt it very seriously.
And he's down, and this could be it. Cannot be saved by the bell.
That's it.
He cannot be saved by the bell. It's over, and we have a new WBA heavyweight champion of the world, and I might add it was well-deserved tonight.
It was a very strategic fight by Gerrie Coetzee. Michael Dokes, I don't know what was wrong, but the fact he laid back and he did just the opposite of what Bobby Lewis was telling him. Don't move straight back. Gerrie Coetzee was measuring him with that left jab and set him up for the right hand, put Dokes down, hurt him, and stayed on top of him.
The other side of the coin, of course, is you look at a man who is not the loser, folks. That is the winner and new champion, deliriously happy. But for all that Michael Dokes did wrong, Ray, Gerrie Coetzee did right.
Exactly, Barry.
And I mean, they got to be going crazy in South Africa. There was no question about it. It wasn't only the knockout. It was a man in control of this fight almost from the opening bell.
It was a very scientifically fought fight by Gerrie Coetzee.
Let's take a look at it once more, Ray.
Well, here we see Gerrie Coetzee now stepping aside, dropping that same right hand he's been dropping throughout the fight. Michael Dokes now is in trouble. He goes down.
Two booming right hands were what put him away, but it was a flurry of punches earlier.
Watch the power. The right hand lands, and Gerrie Coetzee takes his time, comes back with a double right hand.
And that was right at the end of the round. The man could not be saved by the bell, and we have a new champion just like that.
Here, Dokes trying to hold on, but Gerrie Coetzee had an opportunity, and he didn't let it get away from him. Right here, right hand lands. Michael is in serious trouble, and Coetzee lands another right hand. Dokes hits the canvas.
Well, we were saying earlier that Dokes was really out on his feet even before that. You can see in that shot that we just had that Dokes was a man who was already out. Right now, Larry Merchant's in the ring with a new champion. Larry?
The new WBA heavyweight champion of the world. What are your feelings at this moment, Gerrie?
I can just think of Mr. Don King giving me this opportunity. I don't realize what happened to me tonight. Really, I want to praise the Lord. I promised him that I want to thank him. I want to thank Mr. King.
You seemed from the very start more relaxed and confident than we've ever seen you in your previous 2 championship fights. Was that true?
I was very relaxed because I knew my hands are solid. It's okay. I worked hard fighting Tate. I didn't realize what a world title meant, and I didn't have a family. I love my family, and I've done it for them as well tonight.